Is Reed available tonight?
No, he's not.
I think he could be tomorrow.
See, he still has to. I mean, like I said, he played and has felt no pain, so it's close. But I think another test or so to get looked at, but very close. Not sure about tomorrow though.
Jalen has been closing games more regularly, whereas earlier in the season sometimes he'd be benched at the end. Just what have you seen from him to kind of earn your trust in those situations?
Overall, I mean, the reasons it was substitutions, defensive for offense. Usually, that was most of the time what the reason was for, and he's obviously improved in a lot of areas defensively as well. And but offensively, one of our best scorers, leading scorer, obviously, and then the playmaking has really improved. And so, with him, my man Fred in there, you kind of take your pick on who you want to run sets, initiate sets, and I think he's really improved in that area. But the defensive improvement, I would say, was the main reason for not closing games at times. He's improved there.
I was going to actually ask about Jalen, too. What has his biggest area of growth been overall this season?
I would say just recognition and understanding of defenses. Teams went after him quite a few different ways, and he takes the shots that are there, but also makes the right plays. And he's handled traps better, which he struggled with that a little bit early last year. And so overall, just like understanding of the game and like I said, his growth as a playmaker, not just scorer, has been the thing that stood out the most.
Coach, to have a guy in Jeff, obviously he's been here for 2 seasons, but in terms of his impact to you, how has that been having him around this team and just having that influence and that experience?
Yeah, it's been big from day one. Coming right off a championship in Denver, and then a guy that I obviously coached before in Brooklyn, so I knew him. But much different role, much more vocal here, much more of a experienced veteran leader. He didn't have to speak up as much with, Kyrie, KD, and James Harden and those guys in Brooklyn. But the professionalism, the everyday approach that he brings, and as well as Dylan and Fred and some of the guys, is rubbed off on our young fellas. And so, like I said, it gives us a luxury position-wise, where we played him a lot of small ball 5 last year, and a guy that's always ready. But the everyday approach, professionalism, and work ethic is what stands out, and as well as him being vocal and sharing experiences with our young guys.
Coach, did you after the first season, did you see a season like this coming?
I saw the improvements that we made. I think our finish to the last year, strong finish in March and April, playing meaningful basketball at that point, almost, making the play-in, and then the 11-game streak and all those things bode well for us coming into this season. And all of our guys worked extremely hard and understood what we did well and had good carryover as far as that coming in. And so we got the compete with everybody part out of the way last year. We knew we could do that, and now it was time to take another step and win these games against good teams. And so not surprised by what we're doing. We feel like we can even be better. And then other teams struggling, some have elevated us in the standings.
Talking with Kevin after their last game, he was saying that, he understands clock's ticking for them to get in a play-in, but you have to be professional. How did you see that in Brooklyn with him, where, okay, maybe it's not going right or going well, but his approach to the game remained the same?
Yeah, it was even before that. I had him with USA Basketball quite a bit, and so his day-to-day approach is unlike anybody I've really been around or seen, and I think young guys seeing that with USA, and then the day-to-day with Brooklyn, obviously, as well. He goes about his business the same regardless. He's a dude that, with all the accolades he has, still has a chip and is grumpy as hell every other day, and so, but he holds himself to a high standard, and so nothing will change as far as that is approached until it's done. And I've been around him quite a bit and played against him, coached against him quite a bit as well. So you know that about him.
Anything else? Great, thank you.
Thank you.